do it for Miami Dolphins.
The pressure, he's in trouble. Loses the football. Touchdown! Got it!
You have got to be kidding me.
Jalen Waddle. It's a Dolphin touchdown.
Throwing deep upfield on the near side, man open, touchdown!
Looking deep, he's got a man. Touchdown!
The run from Tua Tagovailoa.
Touchdown!
He's going deep. He's got it for a touchdown again. Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fire to the end zone. Touchdown!
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan.
1, 2, 3, hit! Let's go!
What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one. It's your boy who never wishes he was anyone else, especially someone that's inferior that does this, all right? What's good, Fins Nation? How y'all feeling? I mean, we are only a couple days away. All right? From 7-3 potentially? I mean, heading into that bye, we looking real nice right now. Team is clicking. Tua, hey, you know, that's 3 letters. So was MVP. All right, it's a beautiful, beautiful year so far. Tyreek Hill's the best player in football, man. And you know, I sat back and I sent out tweets today. I see, you know, there's a receipts Twitter account now that's out here just roasting people for their bad Tua takes. And it's hilarious. You know, you see the media now, people who tried to label him as a bust, you know, it's turned back around, and now people are trying to, you know, get back on board. And hey man, listen, as someone who analyzed the film since 2020, all right, I called out all of his good just as much as I called out all of his bad. People just didn't want to listen because I wasn't out here yelling and screaming, not knowing what I wasn't talking about, calling this kid a bust, saying he ain't it. I believed in his ceiling because when you watch the film, you saw things and you were like, man, he's doing these certain things. He's flashing in these certain ways without anyone around him, from the coaching staff to on field. Imagine what he can do when you surround him a little bit. And they don't even have the offensive line totally done yet. I mean, that's not even a wrap. I mean, that's not even where it's going to be by the end of it. And already look at what we're seeing right now. So, you know, I'm just going to say it's for everyone who believed, whether you watch the film or not, just believing into his ceiling. I mean, it's been sweet vindication, hasn't it? It has been sweet vindication. I don't know what else to tell you. And, man, we waiting for our apologies, man. We're waiting for those apology forms to be filled out and sent our way. You know, I think I'm owed a lot of apologies from different people in this community. So, hey, my email is always open. You already know what time it is. Don't worry. It's okay. You guys can be men. And girls. You can admit you were wrong. It's all right. Reason was right again. It's okay. It's fine. You know, well, what else can we really say? Reason was right again. And that's to all the people who hate that I was right, and all the people that hate when I tell y'all I'm right. All right? Chalk another one in the credibility column for a reason. All right? Boom. And this weekend, I'm telling you right now, I got all the faith in the world we're going to get this done. The defense is going to show up. We're at home. Don't worry. You know, Jekyll and Hyde. We got to get the other side right now. So we got to get that home defense will show up. That's only allowing 15 points per game. And that'll be more than enough, because I'm going to tell you this, and we'll look into it here. That's it's a leaky secondary. That secondary gives up touchdowns. We're going to have yet another chance to torch. So, did y'all hear Tyreek call him out again? Did y'all hear Tyreek calling them out again? Calling out all the doubters, even might have been taking a little pot shot of flow in there a little bit. But I don't know if y'all heard that boy Tyreek going off again. So I don't know if y'all heard that. But yeah, Tyreek is not playing around. Tyreek is not playing around right now. So y'all already know what time it is. Tyreek calling them out. Tyreek letting them know what the deal is. And I'm here for every minute of it. If you haven't seen it, it was actually going around on Twitter today. I'll show y'all exactly what it was.
And the question was about Tua.
So y'all can see it right there. You see it. I'll put it up for y'all.
What I heard you say was that you believed in him from the first day you saw him and working with him.
Yeah.
And you said, quote, people should
Let me get
start
that right.
pulling up a chair to the
that.
table and apologizing to him.
That's it. That's it, bro. Like, that's all. It's easy, man. Like, that's all people gotta do, man. Just set their pride aside. You know what? Like, everybody isn't blessed to come into certain situations, man. Unfortunately, Tua, he came into a difficult situation. Obviously, 2 years down the road, he got J-Dub, which is Jalen Waddle, to help him out a little bit, man. But, some guys don't come into great situations, so I feel like, once he got a coach who truly believed in who he is as a person, who he is as a player, this organization got around him. Look at the talent now he got around him. So, man, a lot of people can begin to grab their chairs. We got enough room at the table, man. So, media people, I'm saying this to y'all. Y'all can apologize now.
See, he told y'all can apologize right now. He literally told y'all can apologize right now. I'm just saying. That man is not messing around. He is not having it. He ain't playing. So, what can I say except shout out. Shout out to Tyreek. Shout out to Reek. All right? One more time for y'all.
And the question was about Tua and the confidence you have in him. And what I heard you
Purely
say
confident.
was that you believed in him from the first day you saw him and working with him.
Yeah.
And
you
they
said,
doubted
quote,
him.
People should start pulling up a chair to the table and apologizing to him.
That's it. That's it, bro. That's all. It's easy, man. That's all people gotta do, man. Just set their pride aside. You know what? Everybody isn't blessed to come into certain situations, man. Unfortunately, Tua, he came into a difficult situation. Obviously, 2 years down the road, he got J-Dub, which is Jalen Waddle, to help him out a little bit, man. But, some guys don't come into great situations. So I feel like, once he got a coach who truly believed in who he is as a person,
Calling
who
out
he is
flow.
as a player, this organization got around him. Look at the talent now he got around him. So, man, a lot of people can begin to grab their chairs. We got enough room at the table, man. So, media people, I'm saying this to y'all. Y'all can apologize now.
Tyreek calls for the media to apologize to Tua. I love it. I love it. See what I've been telling y'all? Real men, real women admit when they are wrong. All of y'all that are backpedaling, doubling down, not admitting you're wrong, it's time to step up and be a man or be a woman and admit you were wrong. That's it. Period. That's it. So we can all move on with our lives. All right? Because I don't know why people are just, like Tyreek said, put your pride aside. The stuff that this kid is doing right now, we have not had this play at this position since Marino. And you know, the people that are whining, I wonder how many of them actually watched Marino. I really do. I wonder this all the time because I'm like, if you actually watch this guy back in the day, you'd be yearning for what we're getting right now. Like, you would be like I am. I've been yearning for this type of quarterback play at this position since Marino retired. My last memories of Marino walking off the field against being humiliated against Mark Brunell and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that was Marino, like one of the few athletes where I cried multiple in this team. One of the few times I cried multiple times. You know, when we lost to Kelly and the Bills in the AFC Championship, the Stoyanovich kick, and when Marino. Man, those hurt me as a kid. And to see what we're getting right now, man, we've been waiting how long for this? How long have we been waiting for this? And now, people are out here taking it for granted. Oh, I expect him to put up those numbers. Really? Because y'all were the same people telling us he couldn't put up those numbers. Oh, well, it's against bad teams. Well, you think Marino never faced bad teams back-to-back or 3 times in a row or 4 times in a row on any schedule he ever played in his career? You think every team he played was a top 10 defense? And that's why he never did what Tua just did over the last 2 games? First quarterback in Dolphins history to have 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in back-to-back games. Why didn't Marino do it? Oh, well, it's his weapons. Well, okay, Marino had the Mark brothers. You know what I mean? Now I got answers for everything. The problem is, you know, I've been sitting back and watching, but now I care enough where I'm going to actually give you answers as to any narrative you try to spin off that. Because you know it's coming. Just saying. And take this from a man who believes Marino's the greatest natural thrower of the football to ever live. Marino is I think he's the best ever. When you talk about playing the position. But that doesn't take away from the fact Tua is doing things he never did as a passer in Miami. Just saying. So, and you know, people forget Marino had weapons. People forget Marino faced bad teams. Or maybe people just didn't watch Marino. I don't know. But if you're not impressed with what we're getting, the guy is giving what all of you haters and doubters wanted. You wanted him to live up to that number 5 overall pick. And in 2022, in this season, he's playing that number 5 overall pick. I don't care what he did in 2021 or 2020 anymore. Just like if I was a Chargers fan, would I give a good goddamn about Herbert and his Rookie of the Year award a couple years ago? Or would I care about what he's doing right now? I've said this from when I started in this community. The NFL waits on no one. The one thing you do not have in the NFL is time. It is a what have you done for me lately league. Not, oh, well, what did you do 2 or 3 years ago? Do you think anyone's talking about Russ and how in 2019 he was still, you know, people had him in MVP conversation for the first half of the season? Or are they talking about how he's looked with the Denver Broncos? So I ain't even trying to hear, well, I can't just forget about what the first 2 years were. Sure you can. They were in an inept offense with bad personnel from weapons to offensive line to the running game and around him. And Ballgame, and Martin tried to tell you this. The people who actually know how to break down the film were trying to tell you this. When we would highlight the flashes, when we would highlight the great things we'd say, you're going to see this more consistently if you protect him, if you give him weapons. And now you're seeing it. And what's crazy is Tannehill. Let's talk about Tannehill for a sec. Remember Tannehill left and the Titans caught the league by storm in his first year, but now they've really plateaued with Tannehill. Tua's a different level than Tannehill ever was. Tua in year 3, Tannehill has never even reached these levels. Tannehill's never been able to read defenses to this extent. And being this accurate. It took that man 5-6 years to start reading defenses. And I think we can all agree, best quarterback we've had since Marino before Tua was Fiedler, Pennington, and Tannehill. And like I said last week, Tua is Pennington on steroids right now. That's exactly what he is. Because I know a lot of people love their Chad Pennington era here, even though it was short-lived. But because of the success we had in that short amount, the guy is literally Chad Pennington on steroids. He has a much stronger arm than Pennington. See, people they confuse arm strength with him trying to put too much touch on footballs instead of driving through the football. You know? And look at Tannehill. Tannehill, like, he still ended up being, sure, they caught him by surprise, but he still ended up being plateaued. Tua, I mean, we're seeing year 3. Trajectory's only upward here right now. So, you know, and the difference between Burrow and Tua against a guy like Herbert, and I've said this since year 1, I'll say it till Herbert shows me difference. Burrow and Tua, now Tua more consistently, but Burrow and Tua are far more clutch than what Herbert is. And that'll probably be the difference. At the end of the day, you know, I've said since day one, you know, I get the Phillip Rivers sense of you're going to see a bunch of gaudy stats, but you're not going to see a championship. And I haven't totally blamed that on Herbert. I've said that's also what the Chargers organization has been forever, since like Fouts was there. So, you know, it's not so much just on him. It's kind of an indictment on the organization, really. You know, just how you know, we used to say for a time that quarterbacks go to die in Cleveland. Same thing where, you know, think of, you know, the Chargers as quarterbacks go there to put up gaudy stats and not win anything. You know what I mean? Same thing. So that's just how I viewed it. And, you know, now Burrow, again, he's not the best third down quarterback in the NFL or the best fourth quarter quarterback in the NFL. But, you know, when you look at efficiency, Burrow is up there still. I think Burrow is a far more clutch player, and we've seen it, than what Herbert's going to be. So, at least right now. Herbert could develop that clutch gene in the next, you know, this season, next season. I don't know. But right now, I'm just telling you what we've seen. You know, it goes Tua, Burrow, Herbert right now in the rankings for the draft class for me. And, you know, coming into this season, I had Burrow as a top guy. But what did I kept telling people? You know, why can't we be what the Bengals were last year? And Tua said, oh, you liked Burrow last year? Watch this. And, you know, and I haven't seen this level of play from any one of these guys. So, you know what I mean? Now, again, Herbert is the more physically gifted out of the three. But, you know, when you rely on efficiency, when you rely on accuracy, when you rely on your football IQ, and Herbert has a football IQ, but when you rely on, you know, efficiency and accuracy over, you know, big arm, right? That efficiency. What do I tell you guys? What do I tell you? Give me elite efficiency, elite accuracy, and a high football IQ, and I will beat that highlight reel, big-armed guy 9 times or 10 times out of 10. This was Brady's recipe. This is what Brady's recipe was. Brady isn't the most physically and naturally gifted passer of the football. Now, he became better when he went under Tom House and his mechanics crisped. Right? And that's how he's been able to maintain this arm. And you know what I mean? So, like the arm into the 40s. And, you know, Tom House is who helped Drew Brees after his shoulder surgery. You know, so, because here's the thing. People need to realize arms are going to die. You're going to lose juice into your 30s on that. And the only way you're going to keep the juice or gain some juice is you're going to have to get perfect mechanics. Like Tua could gain velocity. If he had flawless, perfect mechanics on every drop back, you would see a gain in velocity. It just happens. You can gain velocity off perfecting mechanics, but mechanics are going to be what outlasts arm strength. Mechanics are how Breeze played to the age he played out with a shot arm. Mechanics are how Brady's played to where he's at. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. So you want this guy to perfect, because he's already got the accuracy, he's already got the efficiency, perfect the mechanics, and Tua's going to have a long career in the NFL. And the growth and development, see, people are underselling it. When Tyreek leaves in a couple of years and Waddle gets re-upped and new guys come through, Tua will start growing and developing. I talk about Brady again. Brady really didn't start developing receivers until after Moss came through there. And then you saw when Moss left, he learned, he developed, he grew as a passer by learning with one of the greatest pass catchers ever of what to do, what not to do, how to throw, how not to throw to receivers. And, you know, he carried it on to guys like look at the guys he built after that. Gronk was built after that. Hernandez was built after that, even though you can say what you want about the guy. You know what I mean? Welker came after that. The guy built Amendola. Amendola was nothing anywhere else, and he was something there. You know what I mean? That's just how he is. And he didn't start becoming that guy until after Moss came through. So they help, you know. Elite receivers not only help your growth and development as a quarterback, but they're going to help down the line in future development of receivers that come through under that quarterback, because it's a cycle. It's a cycle. All right? So you just got to look at that. Go look at cycles. Go look at Ben Roethlisberger. Look at the receivers that came through there, but he learned from Hines Ward early on, and then he built with guys after that. Go look. Kurt Warner was nothing until Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holden, the greatest show on turf. But then, what does he do with Arizona? Builds up Fitzgerald, builds up Anquan Bolden, takes the Cardinals to a Super Bowl. Go look at it. I ain't lying. People think it starts and stops when players leave, but it never does. Look at Manning. Look at the guys he built after Marvin Harrison, because Manning wasn't crap until Marvin Harrison came there. And then look at the guys he built after Marvin Harrison came through. Look at the guys he built in Denver. Right? Demaryius Thomas got put on the map over there. Emmanuel Sanders got put over the map over there. People don't realize, man, when you play with greatness at different positions, you learn things about that position. So when you're playing with receivers, when you're playing with linemen, when you're playing with running backs that are great, that are elite, you learn their habits, you learn their tendencies, and you pass them off to other guys that come up in those positions behind them, because that only benefits you as a passer and as a person playing the position. That's it, man. That's really it. It's not complicated here. It's not complicated. All right, we're going to get into the preview here. The Watch Mister has just had enough. He's done. He's over. And the Watch Mister, he comes out here, donates $9.99. And the Watch Mister says, our good luck charm, enough. I'm honestly done defending Tua when we don't have to. Instead, let's talk about what we're going to do to stop Nick Chubb. Well, okay, you know what? I agree with you. So let's get into the preview. But before we do, because you just supported the channel, guys, please support the channel. PayPal.me/Finside is how you can donate through PayPal. You can donate through the super chat like the homie, the Watchmister did. You can become a Patreon, patreon.com/Finside the NFL. You can become a channel member. And if you are a Patreon and a channel member, I just sent 15% 15% codes off to you for FinsideTheNFL.com/shop. Just check the community tab if you're a member on YouTube. Check the Patreon if you're a Patreon member, because we got 2 new releases, gentlemen and ladies. And I'm happy with them. One of them is my idea. The other one is my designer's idea. And I'm really excited about these designs. I'm really, really excited about these designs. So I want to show you guys these designs before we get into the preview. I'm going to show you at the end because I'm really proud of these. So, guys, first of all, for any of you, if you are not a Patreon member, if you are not a channel member, guys, you're still going to get 10% off all Tua merchandise right now. All Tua merchandise is 10% off. Why does that matter? Because one of the new designs is a Tua design. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Salty Tua. You've heard of Salt Bay, but Salt Bay ain't got nothing on Salty Tua. All right? This was I came up with this idea. I was like, man, I just sitting there and I said, yo, Salt Bay, Tua, let's roll. And you can get that in the hoodie. The hoodie is available. The hoodie comes in pink, black, white, blue. It's fire. It's fire. All right? Check that out. Loving that. And again, all Tua merch as you see here, 10% off right now, guys. 10% off. And then I got to shout out my guy. We'll go to the hoodies, actually. So, yeah, here's that hoodie. I mean, you can see it in the color right there. You can see it light blue. It actually looks fire in the light pink. Looks fire in black, though. Let's be honest. Fire in white, of course. And because it's hoodie season. And this is our other new design. We just dropped it before we went live. Guys, show the deuces off. The Tyreek Hill deuces. We throwing them deuces up. Love this design, man. Shout out to my homie Joey. Came up with this design. Fire, fire, fire. 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 This peace sign. And so if you're a Patreon, if you're a channel member, you get 15% off this new design right now. If you are a watcher, you get 10% off all Tua merchandise on, I mean, you can see it, Tua knocked down right there. And we got a ton. I mean, don't sleep on the Hawaiian Punch Tua. The Hawaiian Punch Tua is fire too. Don't sleep. So anyways, check it out, guys. We also got the Simone Sniper. We also got these on mugs now. And we got the stickers. And we got the, that looks fire on a mug. So hats are probably going to come soon too. So we got some new designs coming. Those are the 2 new ones we got. Check it out. FinsideTheNFL.com/shop.
The question was about
I mean,
the confidence you have in him.
go show some love, man. Go show some love. Support the channel. I'm really proud of those designs. Really proud of those designs, man. So go check them out. I'm telling you, man. When you talk about merch stores, we got that fire, man. We always got that fire for y'all to thread y'all with. So let's get into this right now. Let's get into the preview show. Let's start off with, because we are back at home. And this is what the weather is looking like for week 10. Man, gonna feel like 88 through quarters 2 and 3. Feel like 87 through quarters 1 and 4. It's been nice, up north of the border here. It's been real nice too. I mean, it's been, out here, we've been dealing with like around 14 to 20 degrees Celsius. Right there, that's like 30 Celsius out here. That is like a summer day up here, and y'all about to have it. So hopefully we can get them scorching in the heat. Send your prayers to Ra, the sun god. because Bill fans still think they only lost because of the sun, even though they had 93 offensive snaps and couldn't get it done. So shout out to the Hard Rock Sun. Hopefully the cloud cover isn't too much and doesn't stop it from doing its thing. Because the humidity is going to be like 73%. So it's going to be, cloud cover is going to go from 47% down to 33% by the end of the game. So shout out to the sun. Because apparently the Dolphins are the people of the sun. Shout out to the sun. Let's wear them down. Let's wear them down. All right. Injury report. And, I mean, it's starting to clear up a little bit. I mean, Hunter Long is out, though. Terran Armstead, I mean, get used to it, right? Bridgewater, he's good after, not participating at the beginning of the week, really. Tanner Connor, he's questionable. Austin Jackson, questionable again. I mean, we're going to talk, that was addressed about how he's going to fit into this offense when he comes back. McDaniel did talk about that today, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit here too. And everyone else pretty much good to go. Raekwon Davis, Durham Smythe, River Craycraft, Zach Seiler, everyone pretty much good to go. Now for them, they lost JOK, the stud linebacker of Notre Dame. They drafted last year. He's out. David Njoku, their tight end, is out as well. Other than that, they pretty much have a clean bill of health all around. So, those Dolphins were starting to get healthy. Now if this Byron Jones thing can get figured out, then we are good to go. And if you are a Patreon, if you are a channel member, don't forget, I did have that Byron Jones update on what his current status is just a couple days ago. So if you missed that, go check it out on Patreon and the community tab at YouTube. So, let's get into the team comparisons. We've gone over the injury report. We've gone over the weather report. It's going to be a bright, sunshiny day for the Dolphins. And we're getting healthier, so it's a beautiful thing. Now, we look at how these teams stack up. Total offense. This is the number 4 against the number 5 offenses in the NFL, right? You see this. They're averaging about 385 yards per game. And the Dolphins are averaging about 380.4. Passing offense. Now, we're averaging about 293.6, which is second. They're averaging 221.1, which is 16th. And Brissett's been, he's crashed down to earth after that start they had where they started 2-1. They've gone 4-1 in their last 5. And, Jacoby, he really hasn't been that impressive. You look at his last 5 games. Now he's putting up yards, right? He put up 234 yards against Atlanta, but he threw an interception. That's it. He threw a pick and an interception against the Chargers, and he put up 230 yards, and they lost. They lost against New England. They got spanked. He put up 266 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. They lost to Baltimore. He put up 258 yards and donuts in the interception and touchdown. And then he put up a touchdown and no interceptions and 278 yards against Cincinnati. And they caught Cincinnati by surprise. They've been really leaning on the run. And why wouldn't you, right? As you see from the comparison chart here, that is the number 3 rushing offense in the NFL, averaging about 164.6 yards per game. And quite frankly, Nick Chubb is just a ridiculously unbelievable stud. You look at him right now, and he's averaging about 5.6 yards a carry. He already has 10 touchdowns. He ran for 101 yards against Cincinnati. He ran for 91 against Baltimore, 56 against New England, 134 against the Chargers, and 118 against Atlanta. The guy's already got 841 yards on the season. He's on pace for about 1,787 yards. And Kareem Hunt's no slouch too. He's got 305 yards on top of that. He's averaging about 4 per carry. So, and then on the flip side, you know, you look at us. Man, we're going to need you to get going this week. Either Wilson or Raheem. You know, 29th rushing offense. We're creeping up, though. We're out of the 30s, people. We're out of the 30s. Take the dubs while they come. Take the dubs while they come. We're still only averaging about 86.9 yards per game, which isn't that great. Shout out to the homie Oos Mems. And he said, I'm guaranteeing our defense is going to show up this game. No mobile quarterback, and our pass rush should make pork chops, briquette uneasy all game. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. Now, look at the points. They score 25 points per game. They score more than us. We're averaging about 23.7 points per game. Now, that is without Tua for 2.5, 3 games. We're 10th in the NFL. They're 7th. Sacks allowed, they've allowed 16, which is 6th best. We've allowed 17, which is 10th, both tied. We will get into, you know, that is a deceiving stat when we get into the pressures a little bit. Now, third down offense. It's a battle of the 14th and 15th as the Dolphins convert at a 41.3 clip. They convert at about a 41.3 clip as well, so they're tied. Total defense. Dolphins allowing about 363.3 per game, which is 23rd. They're allowing about 331.4, which is not great. Passing defense, they're allowing 208.3 yards per game, which is 15th. The Dolphins are allowing 245.9, which is 23rd. Rushing defense, the Dolphins are allowing 117.4, which is 15th best. They're allowing 123.1, which is 22nd best. Scoring defense, right now they're allowing 24.9 points per game, which is 24th. We're also allowing 24.9 points per game, ranked right there with them. Sacks, the Dolphins, they only have 17 sacks. They have 19 sacks, so they're 17th. The Dolphins are ranked 20th. Third down defense, and we've been getting killed on it recently, and it's dropped us all the way to 27th on third down defense. We're allowing teams to convert at a 44.7 clip, which is not good. And the reason why it's not good is that's higher than the clip they're converting at, which is only 41.3. You look at the takeaways, the Dolphins currently have, 7, which is 29th in the NFL. You look at the Browns, and in the takeaway department, they only have 8, which is 24th, so not a ton of takeaways for either team. Giveaways, though, the Dolphins have 10, they have 12 as an offense for each team. So, man, you look at how these teams stacked up. Again, another week, another team with a glaring difference in their run game compared to ours, right? When you take it all in. So, this begs the question, Reason, what are your keys to victory for this week? Well, as always, we'll start off with the offense and my keys to victory. My keys to victory for the offense is find a way to neutralize Myles Garrett. The man has 7.5 sacks. Okay? The man is just getting it done. And you're going to have to find that way to neutralize him. Don't know how, but you better. He already has 41 pressures for them. The next guy up is Jordan Elliott with 14. Jadeveon Clowney only has 13. This man is a pressure machine. You are going to have to take on this man head-to-head and beat him. You're going to have to own the clock to wear them down fresh off their bye. I mean, again, like, it's going to be hot. It's going to be 87 degrees. The sun's going to be out. You're going to have to keep that defense on the field, and that's why, you're going to have to be able to run the football. You're going to have to be able to run the football, and running the football keeps them, if you can run the football, own the clock, and score, that's going to put them in a position where they might have to take Chubb out of the game sooner rather than later. So, if you neutralize Myles Garrett, and you own the clock and start wearing them down, don't make them look like they're fresh off their bye. Make them feel like they've been playing the whole season so far. And then expose a leaky secondary. Now, what do I mean by that is I kind of talked about it earlier. This secondary is allowing touchdowns. All right? Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Grant Delpit has already allowed 2 touchdowns. I know he's not playing, but JOK has allowed 2 touchdowns. Greedy Williams has allowed 2 touchdowns. Martin Emerson has allowed 2 touchdowns. Greg Newsome has allowed a touchdown. Denzel Ward has allowed a touchdown. John Johnson has allowed a touchdown. And even better than that, when they're targeted, look at the average yards of reception they allow. Greg Delpit, 18.6. Well, you'd expect that he's a safety. JOK allowing about 11 yards. Greedy Williams, 15.5. Martin Emerson, 9 yards. Greg Newsome, 10.8. John Johnson, 18.3. Sorry, the Denzel Ward, 18.3. John Johnson, 11.4. Those are yards per reception they're allowing when they're targeted and a reception happens. These guys are allowing more than a first down when they get caught on, and they're allowing touchdowns. I mean, guys, they've allowed 10 touchdowns already. I don't know how they're going to be able to keep up with our passing game. I really don't. And JOK is out, and he's one of their, you see how much they rely on him in coverage, and he's still allowing stuff, and they're going to the well to replace him. So we'll see how that works out for them. Now, my keys to victory for the defense. You're going to have to stop the two-headed monster of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I mean, we kind of just briefly talked about it, right? But you got Nick Chubb, who's averaging 5.6 yards a carry. He's on pace for over 1,700 yards. You got Kareem Hunt, who he's not doing too shabby himself. He's on pace for, just under 700 as the number 2 guy rushing the football. He's averaging 4 yards per carry, but these guys can also kill you out of the backfield catching the football, right? Kareem Hunt has 117 yards catching the football. Nick Chubb has 70. So, these guys, they offer you. And you look at the touchdowns. Between the two of them, they have 13 rushing touchdowns. And they have 1 receiving touchdown, which was to Kareem Hunt. But they're no joke. They are no joke. You're going to have to set the edge. You're going to have to contain. The good thing, though, is these guys like to hit the gaps. They like to run in the middle. And that's where we are strong against runs. You're going to have to force the game into Jacoby's hands. This kind of plays off, the offensive keys here when you own the clock and, you can take Chubb and Hunt out of the game by stopping them when they get the ball, but also keeping them off the field. That forces the ball into Jacoby's hands, as Jacoby cannot beat this defense, people. There's not a dollar amount in this world you could tell me where they would have to rely on Jacoby to carry them, and he would. You can't tell me he wouldn't need big games from Chubb or Hunt. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. And then the third one is attack the left side of their line. Listen, right now, this season, Jedrick Wills is struggling. He's already allowed 21 pressures at left tackle. Joe Benito, the left guard, has allowed 9. They've allowed 30 pressures to the left side of their line. 30 pressures already. And 5 sacks. That left side of the line has allowed 18 hurries, 7 hits, and 5 sacks. It's time to eat Jalen. It's time to eat Bradley. The left side of the line is just begging for you to put on a show. Please. Please, 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 please. Show the league, show the world how elite of a combo you guys really are. It's there for the taking on that left side. Man, I want to see Chubb on the edge and, Phillips slid inside with his hands in the dirt. Send them both from the same side. Jacoby ain't going to know what hit him. He ain't going to know what hit him. Let's see it, man. Come on, Mr. Phillips. This is the time to start turning the pressures into sacks. Here's your chance. Let's get it. Chubb Rhino. Rhino asked the real question. Chubb versus Chubb, who wins? I'm going with Bradley, baby. I'm going with Bradley. Chubb wins, though. Either way, Chubb wins. Duke Tomlinson, reason what position you draft first next draft? Corner. Gonna have to replace Byron unless we sign him. Unless we sign someone. But initially, right now, corner. I didn't even hesitate. Hey, you like that? Just straight into corner. All right, my matchup to watch. The run defense against that rushing attack. We could go Tyreek and Waddle. I say this every week against these guys every week, but we got to keep switching this up a little bit. Because I think if we neutralize them, that rushing attack, and we put that game into Jacoby's hands, Amari Cooper, it is going to be a long day for the Cleveland Browns. That's how you force someone to have a long day. Shut down Nick Chubb, the best running back in football, and Kareem Hunt. So for me, that is the matchup to watch. That is. Shout out to homie Justin. He says, do you think Tua puts up another 300-yard third game? I think it's very possible against his defense, Justin. I think that's not out of the realm of possibility by any stretch of the imagination. And if he does, wow. Wowie, wow. Okay? If he does that. That's all I got to say. And I'm here for it. I want to see him do it. For every minute. All right. Let's get into a couple other things. I got an article. Let's go over some of the key talking points from McDaniel's presser today. On top of that, PFF put an interesting article out that y'all will like. And then we just, we got to do some, and then we got a couple victory laps to take. So, let's do this. Shout out again to Justin for becoming a member. All right. Dolphins McDaniel addresses Austin Jackson's position. Ogba the decision at safety. Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel said Friday that he considers Austin Jackson the team's starting right tackle, but didn't rule out using him at another position if needed this season. Brandon Shell has played well in 4 consecutive starts at right tackle. Jackson, who has been out with an ankle injury since the opener, practiced on a limited basis on Thursday, but might be given another week or longer before he's activated. It's possible the Dolphins could allow Jackson to compete with Robert Jones at left guard, but Jackson said he's been given no indication that he will be used at a position other than right tackle. I see Austin as their starting right tackle, McDaniel said, but we will still play him at whatever position best serves us at any given moment to win the game. The play of B. Shell lends us the opportunity to utilize him at other positions because his play has been so strong, but I still, without a shadow of a doubt, haven't strayed away at all from my feeling of Austin being the starting right tackle. He's showing improvement in detail and execution of certain things. I mean, they're just beating around the bush and telling you right now it's Brandon Shell's job to lose. As for when Austin Jackson returns to a game, McDaniel was non-committal but said, "We will not compromise his progress in the long haul to put him out there before we feel confident as we possibly that he won't regress." The Dolphins' offensive line is playing their best it has in years. Tua has been sacked only 8 times in 7 games and just twice in 3 games since returning from a concussion. Conversely, Tagovailoa was sacked 40 times in his first 23 games. The line has also done a good job clearing holes for a running game that has improved in recent weeks. McDaniel cited a fixation on Dolphins players prioritizing fundamentals of playing the position. "We are continually getting better each game," he said. "My offensive coordinator, Frank Smith, has deep O-line coaching roots and was a center himself. I think he spearheaded that charge and really led in a moment that there was a young group that was a little uncertain of themselves. That, along with Matt Applebaum and Lemuel, and Mike Pearson, there's no quick and easy way to have success in the NFL." Pro Football Focus rates Terron Armstead 12th among 78 tackles this season. PFF said he hasn't allowed a sack. Connor Williams has made a seamless transition to center after 4 seasons playing guard in Dallas. PFF ranks him 4th amongst 38 centers, and he has yielded no sacks and 372 passing block reps. Guard Robert Jones is rated 8th among 81 guards. McDaniel addressed other issues during his Friday news conference. He said he and defensive coordinator Josh Boyer speak every week about defensive personnel decisions, different packages, and whatever players are doing. McDaniel said he views Boyer as the head coach of the defense, but their offices are close, and McDaniel is engaged in on defensive decisions. Shout out to the new members of the channel. Even at 6-3, McDaniel said, "We haven't yet had the game which you're shooting for, which you feel like each phase had played to its capability the entire game. I feel like we're close. There has been a drop-off in production from Emmanuel Ogbah, but McDaniel said, I'm not worried. He's playing his best ball before recent injury. I'm seeing some of the best stuff I've seen, including stuff from last year." Ogbah played just 25 of 74 snaps against Chicago. The Dolphins have used 3 safeties, Eric Rowe, Elijah Campbell, and Verone McKinley, to replace Brandon Jones. McDaniel liked what they have offered. They give us versatility for different sorts of packages. You can utilize specific skill sets from given matchups. Brandon is a great player that you don't replace by one player. They've all understood that. One player I was most proud of was Eric Rowe. He played his butt off. He was trying to get turnovers as well, aggressively going after the football. Guys recognizing opportunities and trying to take their games to the next level. Each individual safety has different skills we can utilize. They're all understanding it's their job to make sure we continue to get better on defense, even though Brandon is not there. Jones will miss the remainder of the season with a knee injury. McKinley remains on the practice squad and is out of elevations, meaning he must be signed to the 53-man roster to play again. Tight end Hunter Long, who's been in concussion protocol, wasn't spotted at Friday's Dolphin practice. Terron Armstead wasn't spotted, but he hasn't been practicing on Fridays because of a toe. Everyone except Long appears in a good position to play. So, yeah, I mean, very non-committal to Austin Jackson getting his job back. I like it. Hey, Brandon Shell, that's his job to lose right now. That's Brandon Shell's job to lose. You can't tell me any different. To me, that is Brandon Shell's job to lose. I'm sorry. Shout out to the homie Rhino Smith making his presence known in the chat. All right, continuing on. Looky, I see hooky. PFF in their Week 10 quarterback rankings. Tagovailoa takes the top spot, rises to number 1 in the 2022 quarterback ranking, also entering the top 10 for career ranking. All right. For these rankings, utilize a statistical technique called bias and updating to solve the sample size issues. It's a method PFF has used many times in the past, notably when we looked at a number of different draft classes and why the New York Jets needed to draft a quarterback in 2021. With Bayesian updating, we can use the dynamics of the historical quarterback market and individual results to project the PFF grades and expected points added per play. Even in a single season, there can be drastic differences in sample size for quarterbacks. This means that comparing adjusted rates stats side by side can give too much credit to those who aren't a big part of their offense, too little credit to those who dominate as their team's number one. You can find the details on how they do that. All right, so here you go. You got their EPA per play and their PFF offensive grade efficiency. You see Tua all the way up there at the right-hand corner. And they say Tua Tagovailoa moves to the top of PFF's grade and maintains his efficiency after a strong performance against the Bears. Quarterbacks who efficiency most exceeded our grading were Tagovailoa and Jimmy G. On the flip side, Davis Mills and Aaron Rodgers have graded much better than expected points added. Drop back efficiency on early downs and late downs. Look at this again. Tua murdering it. Murdering it. Look at this. Efficiency from a clean pocket and under pressure. Again, Tua number one in the NFL. Unreal. All right, so there you go. Based on average and scale PFF grades, you see Tua right there. Look at it. Moved up from 3 and he's 1 in grade, EPA, and positional rank. Love it. Love it. I'll take it. Shout out to Tua. Look at this. Even they can't deny it. Even PFF can't deny it anymore. And we know how hard they were on grading Tua over the last couple of years. And now they can't deny it. Now they just can't deny it. Why can't they deny it? Well, probably because of stuff like this. Look at Tua here, guys. First in passer rating. First in QBR. First in EPA per play. First in DVOA. First in yards per attempt. First in adjusted net yards per attempt. Third and third down conversion on passes. 11th on third and 8+ conversion percentage on passes. Second on third and fourth down success rate, which is huge. First on passer rating on third down. First on passer rating in the fourth quarter. First in expected points added for per play in the fourth. Fourth in air yards per attempt on PFR, Pro Football Reference. Fourth on air yards per attempt on Next Gen Stats. Third on RBSDM.com in air yards per attempt. Fifth by Sports Info Solutions. And then air yards per completion. First on Pro Football Reference. Second on Next Gen Stats. You look at yak per completion, he's 29th. He's only getting 4.6 yards after the catch on average. Percentage of yak of total pass cards, 34.8%. Nothing. Accuracy on target percentage by Pro Football Reference is first. By Sports Info Solution is 15th. And the catchable pass percentage by Sports Info Solution is 4th. Again, we go over the charts every week. We go over those numbers now every week. I don't know what to tell you. The statistical values, the analytics, they're all saying Tua's top 5 right now. And if you say otherwise, you're a hater. And I love it. I'm here for it, baby. I'm here for it. Let's go. Dolphin fans have earned this play. We've earned this excitement. And in case you didn't know, he won the FedEx Air Player of the Week this week of Week 9. That's now back-to-back weeks. He's won Week 8, Week 9, after Burrow went back-to-back. But that actually is the third time this season Tua's won the FedEx Air Player of the Week award. That's the most times anyone's won it. He's won it a third of the time so far. Shout out to Tua, man. This man's out here collecting weekly awards like it ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing. Love it. I'm here for it. Guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to see all of y'all on Sunday. We're going to have, obviously, the open panel on the postgame show. We're going to have the live reaction show. It is the last game for 2 weeks because we'll be going on a bye, and I'll have a ton of content for you during the bye, including a bye week round table. So be out on the lookout for that. We got a lot of content coming up for you guys. But before you get out of here again, 10% off all Tua merchandise to celebrate the launch of the new Tua design. Salty Tua has arrived, people. Salty Tua is here. You can get it on hoodies. You can get it on t-shirts. You can get it on stickers. It is here. And if you are a Patreon or channel member, go to the community tab of the YouTube. If you are a channel member, go to the Patreon. If you are a Patreon, we also dropped a design. You will see your 15% code in there. We dropped this today as well. The Cheetah Cartoon Deuces. Go check it out. That is now available. Finside the NFL.com/shop. Appreciate all of y'all for showing love. Support the channel. Love it. You can donate paypal.me/Finside. You become a member by hitting the member button. The join button. Multiple ways. Thank you for all of you that do what you do just by even hitting the like button. Appreciate it. And hey, share this wherever you can. Appreciate all y'all. Yeah, I am going to see each and every one of you on Sunday. Let's get that dub. Let's get that dub. No one walks into our house and takes a dub from us. So let's go get it. I will see all of y'all on Sunday. Be on the lookout. 12:30, 12:45. I'll be going live for the 1 o'clock kickoff. Until then, as always, you already know what time it is. Fins up all day, every day, even beyond the grave in which we'll lay. I will see y'all on the next one. Man, let's go into this by 7-3. Let's get that dub. And oh yeah, by the way, I ain't going to forget this week. Dolphins 27, Browns 20. That's my prediction. Dolphins win again. Let's get it, baby. 27-20 Dolphins. I'm here for it. Ain't forgetting the prediction this week, people. Love all y'all. Fins up. See y'all on